Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing another ramble video for the month of May, and I do apologize for the construction noise if you guys can hear it. And this should be a short video. I don't really have too much to say. I just kind of wanted to make a quick video about something that is still kind of relevant, which is the closing of Book Depository and how that hurts manga collectors. Specifically, it hurts me in a way that probably doesn't hurt that many American collectors. However, there are at least 2 or 3 other ones that I know that are American that collect similarly to me that obviously are going to have to find new ways to buy certain manga. So, broadly speaking, Book Depository closing is pretty bad internationally for a lot of manga fans because a lot of them didn't really have access to manga outside of Book Depository or Amazon, and Book Depository was bought by Amazon a few years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and then Amazon decided to close them down, right? So this is probably a way to get rid of competition, but I'm not really sure if that's the case or not. I'm not really going to talk about that, but it probably is that. So a lot of people are going to have to find new ways to get access to manga that will probably be pretty difficult for them for a long time. I know that man in his manga used to use Book Depository quite a bit, or at least he mentioned that on a tweet recently. And I know Deidorus also uses Book Depository basically exclusively to get all of his manga from the US. So there's a lot of people that are going to have a lot of problems with finding manga now that they kind of have to buy it from different kind of retailers and stuff like that, right? But for me personally, the issue isn't necessarily that I'm not going to have access to manga anymore, because obviously I live in the US, so I have a lot of manga at my disposal, right? But the issue is that there's a lot of manga that is very popular, very big, very interesting, that is just not really available in the US because it has not been translated into English yet, right? And so I supplement my manga collection with manga from other countries, specifically Spain and Mexico. Now, I didn't really buy manga from Mexico on Book Depository because, broadly speaking, it was a lot cheaper to just buy it from Mexico and then just visit every couple months, which I do anyways because I have family in Mexico. Most of my family actually lives there since I am from there. And so it was pretty easy to just every 6 months when I go, just make sure to stockpile a bunch of stuff I bought over the year, have my grandma put it away somewhere, and then when I go visit, I would just bring it back with me, and I probably end up buying a lot of manga from a few different retailers that are available in Mexico that I would visit just because we would go to the mall to hang out, and there's a store there, right? So I didn't really buy manga from Book Depository when I was buying manga from Mexico, but I did buy a lot of manga from Spain. I think over the whole time that I've been collecting manga in Spanish, specifically from Spain, I've probably gotten about 20 volumes, which really isn't all that much, honestly, but it had to do with how I was able to find the opportunity to buy it, and also the fact that there's a lot of different things that I wanted to get. And so it was kind of difficult to really concentrate on one thing at a time, right? So maybe 20 volumes of manga over like a year and a half or 2 years is not that much, but it's a pretty significant thing to me, especially because all of the manga that I bought was stuff that was really interesting to me, stuff that I really wanted for one reason or another, that I just won't really be able to buy anymore in any easy capacity. Because the one thing about Book Depository that was really good was that it was supposed to be free shipping. Now, realistically, it wasn't really free shipping. It was just part of the price of the book, and they didn't charge you anything extra, which more or less worked out pretty well. Usually that meant that a manga that was probably 9 euros in Europe, or 8 euros, I think, which would be about $9, ended up costing about $12, $13, or $14 when you bought it on Book Depository. And that is more or less equivalent to what a manga of similar size and trim and style costs here in the US, mostly 7 Seas manga, right? And so it was very affordable, or it felt very kind of like easy to get because of those prices. Now, over the course of COVID, the prices started to go up and up and up, and this was pretty negative, right? Which is partially why I didn't buy as many as I would have liked. But it did end up happening that you would, kind of put stuff on your wish list, and every once in a while they would drop about $5 or $6 down to like 12, which would be actually kind of a steal compared to some of the prices that would be normally there, right? So that's how I ended up buying most of the manga I bought from Spain. Well, that is how I bought all of the manga I bought from Spain, but sometimes I did pay full price for them. Like for the Sunken Rock volumes, they were 2-in-1s. They're still the same size as a 7 Seas volume, but they were twice as thick. And they usually had a lot of bells and whistles to them that I really liked. So the $20 price tag wasn't really that bad for me. I thought it was fine. And it's, comparable to other omnibuses that they sell here in the US. So it wasn't that big of a deal. However, now that Book Depository has closed down, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I know there's some other options for buying manga from other countries. Like specifically from Spain, I can buy manga from this company called Casa del Libro, House of the Book, and it's pretty good. The prices do end up costing about the same as Book Depository, but only if you buy over a certain number of books, right? Because the way that it works is they give you a flat rate of shipping for one book, which is actually pretty high. So a book that costs about $8 or €8 will have like a €9 shipping cost, right? But if you add more books, the shipping cost still goes up, but proportionally to how many books you have, it's a lot less. So it would be like $2 or €2 per book, which is a lot more, what's it called? Sound, right? It makes a little bit more sense to pay that much. The problem is that you have to buy like 6 or 7 books for that to be worth it. And I really don't have the opportunity or the ability to drop, $90, $100, $120 at a time in one website, in one purchase, right? I can do that over a long period of time. Over like a month, I can do that. I can afford to spend that much money over, every few days, but I can't really do it in one go. And so my ability to buy from Spain is pretty limited in that sense, right? I might be able to do it like on Christmas and maybe in July, like for my birthday and for Christmas, since I will have a little bit more money than usual at those times, since I do try to treat myself during those times. But that is not really going to be, the case, and it's not really going to be something that I can consistently do, right? So my manga collecting for those series specifically kind of tanks. The good thing is that there really isn't too many series that I was super invested in collecting from Spain. So I have Grassross and Green Blood. Both of those are 5-volume series, and I have 2 volumes of Grassross and 1 volume of Green Blood. So if I really wanted to, I could get a one shipment that was, all of the missing volumes, so 3 from Grassross and 4 for Green Blood, and be happy with that. And that would probably be a purchase I would do sometime soon, probably in July, and that would be cool. And then other than that, I really just want to finish collecting Sunken Rock, and I'm willing to deal with the fact that some of my other Spanish manga are just going to be left unfinished for however long it takes me to collect them, and that is perfectly fine for me. But it is kind of a bummer because I've been doing so good at collecting stuff consistently and being good about keeping up with them and stuff like that, and losing the ability to do that for a whole portion of my manga collection kind of sucks. It's really not that big of a deal, right? This is a very first world problem, but it's one that I find important as a collector, and someone that is, invested in collecting stuff, and trying to get the best deals and the best ways to do it. And it kind of sucks that I won't have that ability anymore. But, I'm still happy that I still have the ability to collect stuff from Mexico, and I do still have the ability to collect stuff from the US, of course, since I live here, which is something that most people don't really have. So even though I am kind of sad about the situation, I still have like a positive outlook on it because, I still have opportunities to do it other ways, right? And I think technically speaking, I could buy manga from Spain in Mexico. There are certain stores that sell it. The problem is that because of the exchange rate and then exchanging into dollars and stuff like that, it kind of ends up costing more than if I had just bought it straight from Spain, depending on the volume. And so I might not do that. And also the availability of them is kind of different, and it's not really easy to kind of really compare and contrast that stuff like that. It's going to have to be a waiting game and seeing if I can or not, because, well, stuff is difficult to really project and kind of decide on, long term, when you don't really have the ability to stay consistent with it, right? Which is something I lack, since I have to travel to another country to be able to do it, right? So, that's it for this. I think it was all over the place, but I hope you guys kind of found something interesting to listen to in my ramble, and maybe you have opinions about it yourself, and things that you might want to share about Book Depository, and how it was interesting from a collector's standpoint, or how it was bad or good. And I hope you guys let me know down below what you guys think about Book Depository closing, and kind of the issues that are accompanied by this, and how that's going to be really difficult for a lot of collectors, right? So, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys later.